Okay, this is my not quite live stream recording of this Microsoft Flight Simulator challenge their friend gave me. So a friend was looking on Google Maps for something and stumbled upon this Scotts Mills Airstrip in Oregon. And he sent me a text and said, "You should try to find this in the flight simulator and land there and take off." And it is a challenge because you look at this place that's labeled in Google's map as an airstrip, Google Maps as an airstrip, and you zoom out and you realize that there's just no landmarks anywhere near it. Um, and so finding it is step one. Then seeing if I can even land there and take off from there. I have no idea how long it is. Well, let's see. This says that's about 100 feet. So I don't know. It's not very long. So I'm going to use a bush plane. I'm going to use a Cub that has no navigation equipment, very open cockpit, flown with a joystick, um, flown with a stick as opposed to a yoke. And I'm going to attempt to find this place and land there and take off. And I'm going to have damage turned on the flight simulator, so it could be a short-lived challenge once I get there. Um, but finding it was the first thing that I noticed was going to be difficult. What I've decided to attempt to do is to take off from Salem Municipal Airport here in Salem, Oregon, hook up with Highway 22, follow it as it goes southeast and then kind of turns east. And when it gets to the point that the Little North Santiam joins the North Santiam, not too far past that, it takes a sharp turn, the river does, away from the highway, and you're at Fisherman's Bend Recreation Site. Not sure what this will look like in the sim because this map is post 2020 fire, so it's pretty barren, and I'm not sure what it'll look like. But I'm hoping I could find it by the way the river turns away from it, and if I also this lumber mill would be another key site. And then I noticed that if I go pretty much due north from this Fisherman's Bend recreation area, that I end up at the airstrip. I still thought it would be extremely difficult. And then I remembered that Google Maps does a 3D option. And so I got more of a feel for what it would look like if I was flying it. And the good news is that as I fly north, hold on. Let me get back where I was there. Here I am, 3D. As I fly north from Fisherman's Bend, I'm in the Santiam River Valley here. I go over a ridge. I'm now in the Little North Santiam Valley. And then I go over a ridge. Then I am in a creek valley of some kind. And then there's the airstrip. So as long as I don't get too far off course. And there's also this quarry here. I believe this is a quarry that might help me find this. So that's the plan. I'm going to go start up the flight simulator in this Savage Cub, and I'm going to switch to VR. So I'll be wearing the VR headset so the microphone will change slightly. And then I am going to try to do this challenge and record it as I do it. All right, I am in VR. I am in the plane. Now, this challenge wasn't difficult enough, so let me just check real quick here and make sure. Yes, I've got audio. I decided to make it even more difficult by switching to a joystick to run the stick in the cockpit instead of the yoke that I've been using now for a long time. And I haven't had these controls hooked up forever. I haven't tried flying with them forever, so it's possible that I will just crash right off the bat because I haven't been using these. So I've got the throttle off to the side here. I like to have everything very quote-unquote realistic. So I'm in VR. I have the throttle set just about where the throttle is here in the plane. I've got this stick right in front of me, and we're off. So that's a start. Now I'm turning to the east, if you can see the compass. A little small, but you'll have to believe me. I am going east, and that road down there is Highway 22. So we're going to start on our mission here. Let's see, I'll back the throttle down a little bit so the tax RPMs aren't quite so high. It looks good there, and then we'll hope the trim wheel works. Let's see if the trim wheel is working. Yes. Ah! Look down to do the trim wheel and run into the ground. Let's see, looks like I need to trim it up a little bit. So this is quote-unquote live weather from today, but I didn't want to fly at live time because by the time I got all this figured out of how to record VR in good quality for a stream and get everything working, it is now quite late at night, and I didn't want to attempt this in the dark. So it is live weather in the sense that this is what the weather was like today in this area, but it is not live time. And we'll just see what happens. This is, I don't know how to switch to the external view on this controller. I hesitate to randomly hit buttons, but let's go ahead and try it anyway. Let's see. No, that's not it. That's not it, and that's not it. I have some way to switch to the external. Ah! I can look around, but that's not what I want to do in VR. In VR, I want to look around like this. I was trying to remember how I had this thing set up to switch to the external view so that you could see this Savage Cub a little better. You can see it's a high wing, very open cockpit, small plane. I mean, I'm the only thing in here, really. And said uses a stick here. Not super fast. Not sure how long it's going to take us to get to where we want to go. Hopefully the gauges and stuff are showing up well on the stream. The stream is only 1920 by 1080. In VR, I have much more than that in each eye. So I can read almost any text on the dashboard right now here in the cockpit in VR, even with the limitations of VR being not as crisp as a monitor, but it's right there on your eyes. So I think some people that hear about VR, they hear how realistic it is, and they spend their money and they get their setup and they get it, and they'll go, oh well, that's no good. It's blurry. It doesn't look like a monitor. But other people in my experience, they get into VR and they're like, oh my God, this is incredible. Because they're not so hung up on, is everything perfectly crisp and clear, as if you have two 4K monitors strapped to your face. And my contention about this doesn't look real because it's blurry is that my eyes in real life aren't the greatest. And so I don't expect to see things better in VR than I do in real life. So I don't mind it being a little, I don't know, a little not perfectly crisp. Especially considering that for that trade-off, I get ultra immersion of as if I'm actually in this cockpit looking around. I can't fly without VR because I can't look around easily. Now you'd think I would have been counting off these towns as we went so that I would know where I was, but I haven't been. But we're still going southeast. So we haven't gotten to where you can see the compass says we're going about 120. Southeast-ish, east-southeast. And so we haven't gotten to where Highway 22 switches due east, so I know we're not there yet. And the river's nowhere in sight still, the North Santiam. As I said, this is in Oregon. Salem, the capital of Oregon, is where I took off. We're flying toward the Cascade Mountains. Behind us is the Coast Range of Oregon, and we're flying over the Willamette Valley right now. If the clouds weren't there, which wouldn't be realistic today, it's possible we could see one of the bigger mountains to the north. Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens maybe. But I'm not very high, so I doubt it. And they'd be a long ways away. And east of us is Mount Jefferson in the Cascades. And it's possible that it's just not quite visible because of the clouds. All right, now let's keep an eye out for that river. I've only got one chance to do this right because I wanted to do this as a live stream, but with so many technical challenges of getting everything up and running today for the first time in a long time, and not having live streamed in a couple of years, I just figured that was too much to ask, besides the fact that I wouldn't have any live viewers because only one person knows that I'm even attempting this. What am I seeing on the road down there? Looks like hovercraft. Oh, I see. It just looked funny. Oh, the minivan just disappeared. Oh, the semi just disappeared. Guess I should quit watching the traffic. Alright, we're still over Highway 22, but I haven't been counting the towns. So I don't know which town I'm over here. Shouldn't matter. Should only matter when we spot the river and when Highway 22 turns more east. And you can see we're coming into the foothills of the Cascades here. Those were the hills that we were looking at when I switched to 3D view and tried to get an idea of what this was going to look like from the air.
river or is that a lake? I don't know what that is. Oops. Now I've done it. I lost track of Highway 22. Heck. What have I done? What have I done? I guess that's Highway 22, but it looks like it has grass on it. Now there seems to be a continuing water here. So this is perhaps the river. And I think when I wasn't paying attention, the Highway 22 turned more due east. So that must be the North Sandy Ann. So let's keep going here until it gets a little more next to the highway. This could be really dumb if I just fail to even find my first landmark. I wonder how my fuel is. Where's my fuel gauge? Do I have a fuel gauge? I don't know. I have a feeling that it is not going to show the damage from the massive fires of 2020, or was it 2021? That it was devastating for the this area. And so it'll look a little different here in the sim than it did in the Google Maps, which was more up to date, I think. Okay. I wonder if I should follow the river. But I hate to lose. If I lose Highway 22, I'm in serious trouble. We know that it was going to get close to the highway before it, before we got to that junction. There's the highway again. This looks... Okay, we're definitely... There's the highway, there's the river. So now... Where is... Oh, I should have looked for bridges. Bridges are a good thing. Highway, river. River is getting away from the highway, but not like what I was looking for. That looks like two bodies of water coming together. Oh, why didn't I think about that? One of these other streams coming under the highway. I haven't been thinking about hills here. I'm flying along at what, 800 feet, not even thinking about the hills. Might have to give it a little more throttle to get over this hill here. Oh, hope my flaps are, yes, flaps are up. If I get to Detroit Reservoir, which I'm afraid I'm going to do, that means I completely messed up. This is the exciting part about trying to navigate by dead reckoning in a place you've never flown over before. Okay, the river is still right next to the highway, so I don't feel like I've necessarily messed up. There were some pond-looking things on the map not too far from where I was interested in. We should definitely be coming upon some more town-looking stuff. Look how close the river is to the highway here. That's promising, because that's what I was looking for, is for them to be next to each other. Question is, the river just turned away from the highway. Was that what I was looking for? Is that the mill that I said would be right where the river turned away from the highway? It's possible. Things look different than they do in real life sometimes. But then again, I said I would hit some more towns before it happened. Definitely haven't gotten to Detroit Reservoir yet, so we know we're not completely screwed. Kind of lost my whether or not I'm actually next to the highway. I guess I am. just following the river now, looking for that river junction that would indicate to me that I need to be watching for the spot. Now, mind you, there's all kinds of maps built into the sim. I could bring up a map and it would show me where I am, but that's cheating for the purposes of this challenge. But I really feel like I have gone past the town that was where I was supposed to turn. Damn. Maybe I should have just followed the river, looking for that junction, or that joining of the two forks. Because this is definitely getting too canyony now. Alright, I am going to say that I passed it, and that place that looked like it might have been where the river turned away from the highway, and where there might have been something that was a mill in real life, that was actually it. So now we have to get back there. Can't remember what the town was. Mill City? The one that was just past where I was supposed to head north. Because there was definitely some town looking stuff there. If I was doing this as a live stream and I had viewers, they could be sending me chat messages telling me how big of an idiot I am, but I can't see the chat messages when I'm in VR. I think there's utilities to help with that, but I've got enough to focus on without doing that too. I knew this would be difficult, but I thought I had done enough homework that it would only seem difficult, but I would actually be easy. But now, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. In which case, the temptation would be strong to not put this up on YouTube. Okay, so here's a town looking stuff. And off on the not the horizon, but down there is where I think is something that could have been that mill. So, if that's the case, then it's possible that the fact that there's a big gap here between the river and the highway is because up here, coming up here, is where the river turned sharply away from the highway. But that should mean that the junction of the two, of the North Fork, the North Santiam and the Little North Santiam, would be just past that. So, would this be the sharp turn away from the highway? Sure could be. It was like a 90-degree turn away from the highway. And if that thing back there is the mill, that would make these trees Fisherman's Bend, which is way overgrown than it would have been even before the fire, I think. So the junction of the two streams should have been right in here, if that was what I was looking for. I sure don't see it. But that's what we're going to call it. See what happens if we go north. So we go to where the river turns sharply away from the highway. And where the mill is to the south. And we'll call this Fisherman's Bend Recreation Area, and we'll go north from here, which means I better get busy climbing some altitude. Okay, we're going to call this Fisherman's Bend. And we're going to go north from here. I got to go due north and stay on it. I need altitude. So, if this is generally the right area, then that was the wow. Oh, I'm going wrong way. I thought, wow, why is north so far east? Because I was going away from north. You know, there's a homestead there. I kind of remember that on looking on the map when I was simulating going north. At any rate, this next canyon will be the Little North Santiam, if I make it over these trees. Yes, flaps are up. The flap handle is down, which means flaps are up. So this is the Little North Santiam Canyon, which means that the junction of that and the North Santiam should have been right down there. There's definitely a river down there. We'll hope that's the Little North Santiam. Then we go over this next ridge, which is even higher. We're now up at 2,500 feet. Sure hope my fuel's good. I don't know how to check it in here. Somewhere there's a little tube or something, and I don't even know if there's a switch for switching. There's probably not multiple tanks, but wouldn't it be funny if I just ran out of fuel? Coming up on 3,000 feet now. It's still going generally north. I'm not the greatest at staying on course with a compass. So what we want is this next canyon to be a little creek canyon, and unless I'm already over it. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe we're coming up on our target area right now. Maybe I've already gone over the Creek Canyon. Keep an eye out for that quarry, which, as I recall, was up on top, just like the airstrip is. Come on. Don't fail me now. Okay, now, let's not panic. Let's say that this is that Creek Canyon, and maybe that spot right in front of me is the quarry. But then where's the airstrip? Because there should be a spot for the airstrip there. Why do I have so much speed? What the hell's going on? Throttle back a little bit. It doesn't look like... Well, maybe that's a quarry. Wouldn't it be crazy if I actually did it? If that was the quarry and the airstrip's right up there, looking impossible to land at, but just exactly where it's supposed to be. That sure could be the quarry. That sure could be the airstrip. I could just try to land at it the first time without flying over it first. But let's not. Let's get an idea of what we're dealing with here. I think we've done it. I think we've done it. That's the quarry. Right there. Just like it was supposed to be. And that's the airstrip. Oh my gosh. Why is there an airstrip here? That's it. That is it. The road comes in from the side just like it showed. Oh my gosh. I don't have any idea which way the wind's blowing, so I don't know if coming in from the north or the south is better. All right. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It worked just like it was supposed to. I just missed Fisherman's Bend the first time because it didn't look like what I expected it to look like. Wow, this is rugged. This is still the foothills of the Cascades. Let's see if God, I hope I can do this now after all of that. Trying to get turned back around. I'm pretty bad at passing the airstrips and then coming back to them. Oh boy. I have damage turned on. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this. But at least we found it. I think I'm going to have to go around. I'm not going to get low enough on this pass. But that allows me to see a little bit better that there's a pretty steep ridge right next to it. Back over here where I can use that quarry as a landmark. Here's the quarry. Coming in over these, clearing these trees and getting down there. Oh my gosh. I'm not a real life bush pilot. I don't know how to do that. Man, I need to spill a bunch of speed. I gotta get the nose up, the throttle down so I can drop out of the sky like a stone. Speed is way, way, way too high. But I don't want to go around again. This is a disaster. Oh shit. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Holy shit. That is such a short runway. I have to come in. I cannot be too high. Should have brought a helicopter. Ha! But that was cheating. I said I would not use a helicopter. I should have brought an even shorter takeoff and landing plane than this Savage Cup, but I'm coming in way too fast, so it doesn't matter anyway. Can't believe I got out of there. I can't believe it. I got throttle and didn't stall. Still too fast. Trying to miss that tree. Oh my God. I can't do it. Oh, this is frustrating. I've found it, but I can't. I'm doing horrible at actually making the landing. I need to come in barely over the trees for a long ways before I get there. Oh, this is frustrating. Nose up to get the speed down. Throttle's all the way down to try to drop. Nose up, nose up. Trust it to come down. Oh, let's put flaps up. Oh, I can't remember where my flap control is when I'm using this. I have no flap control. That's my problem. Oh no! I stalled. Oh my gosh. I can't remember how to use the flaps on the stick. I have them on the yoke. Ah, dang it. Well, there we go. But I found it. That was step one.